start with big oil and how 17 states, 17 of the 50 United States have now made it illegal to protest big oil. We have, and that is bipartisan. The last one to do it, I know for a fact, is it Evans from Wisconsin who signed legislation making it illegal to protest and then claims that he's still retaining First Amendment rights. It's a crock of shit. But you take over with the Texas stuff and please go into that issue about how they declare land, public land, suitable to have you arrested for
critical
protesting.
Infrastructure facility.
Yes.
Which means any pipeline transporting oil or gas, or the products of or constituents of oil or gas, and a facility or pipeline that is under construction and all equipment used during that construction. So that's what they define critical infrastructure facility. Yeah, so
if they're going to lay a pipe for 100 miles, if you're standing over there protesting it, even if nobody could see you, you can be arrested for it.
Punishable up to 2 years in prison.
There you go. America, land of the free.
And there's actually a pipeline going up, the Permian Highway pipeline, which is running from West Texas's Permian Basin to the Gulf Coast. And so people now who are trying to fight that are at risk of being thrown in jail. Because I think this project just started. It's not very old. Okay. So people are probably going to start, if they haven't already, making us think about it, and they have to really watch themselves.
And Texas has legislation. It's passed legislation.
Yeah, HB number 3557. That's what I just read from the Critical Infrastructure Facility. So we can try to throw that up on the... when
we have the TV, YouTube thing on the video.
Get you more of the quotes from that bill.
And how about the DAPL, the no DAPL? I mean, what they did to Native Americans and protesters, their native land. Well, tell us about how they rerouted it around Bismarck because they didn't want to touch white people land.
Yeah, the route was supposed to go north of Bismarck, and then the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers did an environmental assessment, and they were like, it might leak and it might poison the water of all these, white people in this area. So maybe we should move it a little south.
Kill off a few more Native Americans.
Yeah, and that's what they did. They moved it south of Bismarck, and now it's running through sacred indigenous religion. Land. Yeah, I believe, including a graveyard. I believe.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
And they're also violating the Fort Laramie Treaty.
Well, okay, I'm glad you said that because I just want to interrupt for a second. I wrote a dopey book called Rough Riders, a crime book, but it covers the fact, and I got this from Ward Churchill, who was a brilliant professor that the right wing went after, Bill O'Reilly went after, much like Norman Finkelstein. But the bottom line is, this country has yet to honor a single fucking treaty with Native Americans. Not one. They have yet to honor one. They have crossed out every fucking treaty made with Native Americans. So when they went through North Dakota and they did this pipeline crap and people protested, Native Americans especially, but Bernie Sanders was there, Tulsi Gabbard was there, yes. The progressives were there.
Jill Stein.
Yeah, Jill Stein. Nobody else. All these people in the corporate Democratic Party, they weren't going to dare cross big oil. They get money from big oil, so they weren't going down there. And we're going to show on the video pictures of how those people were treated standing in March in frigid water. I played football in North Dakota. I went to college in North Dakota. And let me tell you something. I love the cold, but it gets fucking cold. I can't imagine standing in freezing water.
20-degree weather.
Yeah.
Being
and
shot with freezing
getting hit with water cannons.
Yeah. And rubber bullets.
And pepper spray in the
run
waters.
over.
And attack
I think
dogs.
Somebody lost their hand or had a bullet shot through their hand or something.
And they had attack dogs. And this is America.
Yeah.
So they militarized the state. I think Chris Hedges covered this in the Posse Comitatus thing, where he actually sued Obama for allowing the military to be used as state police. It's obscene. This is supposed to be, all the bullshit we learned as kids, things that were shoved down our throat. Hey, the Boston Tea Party, we're based on revolution and protest. I guess that doesn't count anymore. Once corporations took control of everything, including the media, we've been force-fed a lot of shit. They don't cover. The corporate media does not cover the crap that we do around the world and the crap that happens within our borders. And they certainly don't cover these protests enough. So, there we go with that. But give us some more. What else?
Of DAPL? Well, here, the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe, as a sovereign nation, actually passed a resolution regarding DAPL, stating, and I have the quote here, that the Dakota Access Pipeline poses a serious risk to the very survival of our tribe and would destroy valuable cultural resources. And Obama,
Barry, where the
Obama
fuck are
pretty
you?
much ignored that.
So we're going to let it play out for several more weeks.
No problem.
And if you watch the video, you see just how little he gives a shit. It looks like he's late for one of his Wall Street meetings, and he can't wait to get the fuck out of that interview. And he had no interest in these poor people who were trying to save their water, trying to make sure their kids have drinkable water.
But those people should vote blue, no matter
Oh,
who.
no, absolutely. Oh, yeah,
They have
please.
to vote blue.
Yeah,
It's
please.
kind of like in the Michael Moore documentary, and I really, really recommend watching that documentary because I learned a few things in it I had never even imagined, like Flint, Michigan was used for target practice. But especially Flint, Michigan, the scene where Obama comes there to save the day, and then he turns off, he pretends to drink the water and turns off every African-American voter in the fucking city. So, yeah. So we know Barry's he's a slugger. He's a slugger for Wall Street, but that's about it.
Yeah. And I'd like to add that 84 gallons of crude oil was spilled even before DAPL was operational.
Yeah, and now they're spilling like hundreds of thousands of gallons. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
But profit over people. So as long as we
the name
keep
of,
our priorities
The
straight.
business of America is business, and fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
And like right to work laws, which are basically, anyone who doesn't know what a right to work law is should really look it up. It's basically saying fuck you to workers. I mean, it just makes it impossible to unionize. It's bullshit. It's just another way to squeeze out as much as they can before everything goes poof. All right.